So after we witnessed one of Ash's strongest rivals get swept aside by Leon, I thought why not talk about Ash's rivals and who is actually the strongest. So today we're going to be doing a rival tier list, so let's get started and I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to be ranking Ash's rivals on 5 different levels. Firstly we have the You Suck level for trainers who are no threat to Ash at all. And then we have Comfortable Win. These are trainers who Ash could beat pretty easily without any fuss. It doesn't mean the other trainer is bad, it just means that you don't really stand a chance against Ash. And then we have Average. These are trainers that can pose some sort of threat to Ash, but ultimately it would end with Ash winning pretty easily. And then we have Serious Challenge. These trainers are smart in battle and would push Ash to his limits and make for an intense, exciting battle. And then finally the top tier, we have the strongest. These are the best of Ash's rivals, the ones that have had the biggest impact on him and given us the fiercest battles. So with all that being said, let's start putting these trainers on this list. First up we have Gary Oak, Ash's original rival, and the man is of course going in the strongest tier. Even to this day, despite quitting battling, I think he would pose such a challenge for Ash. As we've seen in his Project Mew missions, he still has got what it takes in battle. Ash and Gary have battled 3 times and Gary has come out on top in 2 of them battles, so he's definitely one of Ash's strongest rivals. And then we have Richie, and despite Ash losing to him in their one and only battle, I'm going to put him in average. Let's be honest, Kanto Ash was all over the place, his Charizard wasn't obeying him and he didn't really have a chance from the start. Things would be a lot different now if Ash battled Richie, and in the grand scheme of things I don't think Richie is all that strong. Another trainer that defeated Ash in the league is Harrison, and I'm actually going to stick him in the Serious Challenge section. Despite not knowing much about him after the Johto League, it was clear that he was very strong. His Blaziken especially was not playing around, so he would definitely give Ash a serious challenge even to this day. Moving on to Hoenn, we have Morrison, and he goes in the Comfortable Win section. Morrison was a strong contender, but at the end of the day he's not really a match for Ash. He let the occasion get to him early on in Ash's battle and it was too late to pull any sort of comeback around, so I don't think he is that strong. And then we have Tyson, the trainer who knocked Ash out of the league with his Meowth boots. Overall Tyson was a decent battler, but I think if he battles Ash again on form, then Ash would win this every time. It wasn't Ash's day here, and although Tyson is pretty competent, I don't think he poses a serious challenge anymore, so he goes in the average tier. Next up we have Ash's greatest rival of all time, Paul, and of course he's going in the strongest, even showing in his recent Journey's return that he is still packing power. He can still push Ash to his limits and he will always be one of the strongest rivals Ash has ever faced. And then we have Barry, and I absolutely love his character, but he's average in my opinion. He can put up a good fight against Ash, but he doesn't pose any serious challenge, as his carefree and wacky personality probably hold him back from being the best. And then there's Nando, who I'm going to put in Comfortable Win for Ash. He was mixed between contest and gyms, and it showed because he could never truly devote himself to mastering one, and that's probably what sets him aside from trainers who are stronger. He is a strong trainer and would give Ash an exciting battle, but at the end of the day it would always end with a comfortable win for Ash. Conway is a serious challenger for Ash, and mainly because he has some tricky tactics. This guy is the counterpart to a competitive player in the real world. He will come at you with every sneaky play he knows and try to wear you down until you've had enough. And for someone like Ash who thinks with his heart rather than his head, he poses a massive challenge for him. On to the Black and White series, and we have Bianca, and I'm going to put her in Comfortable Win. Similar to the others in this section, she is a competent battler, but I don't see her giving Ash any trouble at this point. And then we have a Trip, and like it or not, this guy is a serious challenge. As much as I dislike his character, he is strong and he has a goal of becoming one of the strongest trainers around. Ash struggled to beat him at every turn, so although he might not be up there with the strongest, he's still going to be very tricky to beat. Cameron is next, and this one might surprise you as I've put him in a Comfortable Win. Yes, he beat Ash in the Unova League, but let's be honest, Ash wasn't on form in Unova. He had a bad season. If this guy wants to come back and challenge Ash now, he would get absolutely blown out of the water. This guy brought 5 Pokemon to a 6-on-6. You pull a stunt like that in the Masters 8 and things would be different. Finishing things off for the Black and White rivals, we have Stefan. He is my favourite rival in Black and White, but I'm going to put him in average. He doesn't have the power of Trip, but he also doesn't have the stupidity of Cameron, so he's between them both. He can give Ash a pretty good battle, but I don't think it's anything to warrant a serious challenge. Next is Alain. After his loss to Leon, does that all of a sudden make him weak and terrible? No, of course not. Leon is a strong trainer, and although the battle could have been written a lot better, Alain still put up a fight and was the first trainer to knock out one of Leon's Pokemon. Alain is without a doubt in the strongest tier on this list. And then the other XY rival, Sawyer, someone who has shown great development throughout this series. He was a serious challenge for Ash, even giving him a massive wake up call when Ash went through his losing spell during the XY series. So Sawyer is definitely a serious challenge for Ash. Next is Trevor, and he sucks, let's be honest. Is he really a rival for Ash? I don't know, but here he is. Tierno, on the other hand, actually had some impact on Ash's battling, influenced him with his dancing, and he was just a better trainer and a better rival. So he goes in comfortable win. Onto Alola, and Gladion is the final member of the strongest group. He was undoubtedly one of Ash's biggest challenges and the one that he had to overcome to win the Alola League, and a massive trainer who had a massive impact on Ash's journey. And then Kiawe, although I always saw him more as a companion than a rival, they still pushed each other to become better, so I'm going to put him in the serious challenge section as he is a very strong battler and he would give Ash a great battle. Hao was a decent battler, but let's be honest, Ash was never going to lose that battle, so he goes in the average bracket. And then finally we have Bea. Yes, I think Bea was a rival. She battled Ash 3 times, and that's the same amount as Gary, so let's be honest, she's the only one that put Ash through any sort of development arc in Journeys. So I'm going to put her in a serious challenge. She's a gym leader, she is strong, so I think this is where she belongs. But that is it for this tier list. Let me know who you think is Ash's strongest rival. There was certain trainers that I missed out, like Virgil, because Ash never actually battled the guy, and then Tobias because he was a huge plot device to make Ash lose and never really felt like he was on equal terms as a rival with anybody. So I don't think either of them should have made the list. But that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you next time.